Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome back into the Tiger Dome this evening as the Fort Scott Lady Tigers get ready to face the Pittsburgh Lady Purple Dragons here in match 2 of the night for both of these teams. Match 3 of the evening for the night. Both teams won their opening match in 3 sets as Fort Scott was able to defeat Labette County 25-22 in the first set. Lady Grizzlies came back and won the second set against Fort Scott 26-24, and then Fort Scott was able to win the third set 25-23. Pittsburgh, it took them 3 sets as well. They won the first set 25-14. They lost the second set 25-21. A nice run at the end of that frame by Labette County, and then Pittsburgh able to take set 3 in that earlier match for them 25-18. So final match of the night, Fort Scott and Pittsburgh here this evening on Pink Out Night tonight. Just before this match, the Lady Tigers honored some breast cancer survivors that are in the bleachers tonight, so that's always a cool thing to see. And now we're underway here in set number 1 of match number 2 on the evening. And Fort Scott sets Kylie Comstock there in the middle, but it's into the net, and the point goes to Pittsburgh. So the Purple Dragons start with the first point of set number 1. And that one blocked by Pittsburgh, but falls on their side of the court. So it is 1-1. Pittsburgh back serving again. It's got to work it near side. Hazel Baker with the swing there, but it's dug by Pittsburgh. Scott works it to the back row. Now Pittsburgh scrambling a little bit, but they're able to recover in time. Long dig that time, but Pittsburgh able to get it over. Now off the Pittsburgh block from Fort Scott. Rally still going here. Fort Scott tries the back corner, but it's dug by Pittsburgh. They work it back near side. That one blocked, but blocked off of Fort Scott and out of bounds. So Pittsburgh gets the point. Lady Tigers coming in 4-20 overall, 1-6 now in the SEK. Lady Dragons entering this match here, 6-1 in the SEK, 19-11 overall. And another point for the Purple Dragons. They now lead at 4-1. Fort Scott works it far side. A long swing that time, and it's a little bit too long from Avery Stewart. And now the Lady Tigers will take their first time out of this match.
Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700.
Out of the timeout, Fort Scott gets the point there, so now 5-2. And Rayleigh Cowan will go back to serve for the Tigers. The libero this season for Fort Scott. Nice dig to keep that one alive. Pittsburgh works it far side. That one, nope, stayed alive. Nice job by Fort Scott to recover. Off the block, and Fort Scott can't get back there. Fort Scott has done a much better job in the last week or two of covering those blocks at the net. Couldn't quite get that one taken care of, though. Now that one is in there for the Lady Tigers. And that one will go to Pittsburg again. So 7-3 now. Swing was long by Fort Scott, so another point to Pittsburg. Then they'll lead by 5 here in the opening frame. Ivory Watts back to serve for the Lady Dragons. And that serve's going to be a little bit long for her. That one into the net there from Erica Maxwell. Fort Scott to serve again. Nice job to keep that one alive by the Lady Tigers. Another good job. Hazelbaker got that one over that time. Near side, and it doesn't clear the net. And I think they called a full contact that time on Pittsburg. So Fort Scott has worked it back to a 1-point set here. Avery Stewart, again, one of the better servers for Fort Scott. Back to do it again. She'll serve the far corner, but can't quite keep it in. Just a hair too long that time. And a Fort Scott sub here as Avery will come out for a quick breather. And Anna Farrington will check back in. Farrington, 5'4" junior for the Lady Tigers. That one finds the open spot on the far side for Fort Scott. Now Ali Kalishaw will go back to serve. Kylie Comstock, Kinley Clements, and Kendall Aiken all on the front row right now for the Lady Tigers. Get it to Hazelbaker, now back around, and that one just hit just a little bit too much of the net that time and didn't quite get all the way over. So on another rotation here, Kalishaw comes out. Rayleigh Cowan will check back in on the back row and will join Hazelbaker and Farrington. Nice shot there by Clemens, but it's dug by Pittsburg. Come around, oh nice. A lot of spin it looked like on that one from Comstock. And she's able to find the open court, the open area of the court, and get the Lady Tigers back to within 1. Over to Clements. She'll set Comstock. Back around as Pittsburg fires one in there. It's a heavy swing there from, I believe that was Maxwell getting the kill. Maxwell with the service ace that time. Now Stewart back in as Farrington will come back out. Long dig that time by Hazel Baker. Fort Scott tried to scramble to get to it, but couldn't quite get where they needed to with it. So 13-9, Pittsburg with the lead. That one off the Pittsburg block, and they say it was down. The Lady Dragons tried to get a pancake dig that time, but officials say it hit the ground. Lady Tigers back to within 3 here in the opening frame. Nice block at the net by Comstock and Hazel Baker, but it's kept alive by Pittsburg. Round 2 Dakota, that one blocked at the net, kept alive. It looks weird, but you can legally kick the ball, which is what happened there for Pittsburg. If that's your last resort, it is legal to do that in volleyball. It doesn't happen very often, but they were able to keep it alive. Fort Scott came back and got the point, and now another serve return error on Pittsburg. Turns into a service ace for the Lady Tigers, and the Fort Scott back to within 1. And that one, nice little off-speed shot from Pittsburg that falls in there. Alicia Cousins with the kill that time. Back corner, Fort Scott got to it, but couldn't keep it going. Long dig that time. Set up, I believe that was Ivory Watts there at the net for Pittsburg. Back to a 4-point advantage here in the opening frame for the Purple Dragons. Wearing white with pink trim here tonight in celebration of Fort Scott's Pink Out Night. That one, did it hit the antenna? Either way, it's a Fort Scott point. And Rayleigh Cowan back to serve again. That one blocked by Hazel Baker and Kalishaw, and then Pittsburgh can't recover. 16-14 now. And another point for Fort Scott. Rayleigh back to serve again. Rayleigh and Avery Stewart are 2 of the better servers for Fort Scott so far this season. And both have gotten on a run from the service line here in this opening frame against Pittsburgh. Nice job to get that one over the net by Aiken. Kept alive by Pittsburgh. Now Fort Scott goes back the other way to Stewart and just mishit it just a little bit. 17-15 now, Pittsburgh with the advantage. Long dig that time. And then Kalishaw swings that one home. Pittsburgh scrambling, but able to get it across the net. Now Fort Scott comes near side. That one way up into the rafters. And Purple Dragons can't return it, so Fort Scott has now tied this first set, 17 all. And Pittsburgh, they came out in that first set against Labette County and played incredibly well. Kind of what we expected to see from the Purple Dragons here tonight. Midway through that second set against Labette County, things kind of shifted, and Pittsburgh has struggled since then. They did go on a nice run to end the third set of that match, but they were down 10-2, I believe, early in that third set against Labette County. And another point for Fort Scott as they take an 18-17 advantage. Coach Ashlyn Riggs had to call an early timeout in that third set just to regroup her Purple Dragon squad, so they didn't lose that first match against the Lady Grizzlies. Now Fort Scott making them scramble on the defensive side of things. Comes to Calashan. Nice job to keep it alive for Fort Scott. Go back corner with Stewart. And now it comes to the net, and they can't get Ivory Watts there in time. And the Lady Tigers have a 19-17 lead, and Pittsburgh will take a timeout. So Fort Scott leading by 2 here in the first set. Purple Dragons take a timeout. If you're in need of livestock risk protection, multi-peril crop insurance, or help with your pasture or private products, Caleb Simpson has you covered. Call or text Caleb with Twin Pine Solutions at 620-215-4144. So 19-17, Fort Scott leads here in the first set. They play best 2 out of 3. And we'll see if that timeout for Pittsburgh can change the momentum like their timeout in the third set of the first match against Labette County. That one off the net, but kept alive. Scott gets it back over the net. Now Pittsburgh, nice cover on the backside. We got a whistle, and they're going to call a double contact on the Tigers that time. Fort Scott will get a sub here as Kinley Clements, 5'9" sophomore, comes back on the court. Grayson Pitts will come out for a breather. Pittsburgh, Ivory Watts is serving. That one gets to Anna George. She can jump out of the gym almost literally, and they're going to call it, say that she was over the net. So Fort Scott is going to get the point there. They now lead at 20-18 in set number 1. Remember, if you're new to volleyball, I think I've got this right, it's an imaginary plane of glass that goes from the top of the net all the way to the ceiling, and if you cross that, it's a violation. Looked like George did that the last time. At least that's what they called, and now point to Pittsburgh as the teams trade points once again. And now Haley Gray, the libero, back to serve for Pittsburgh. Fort Scott gets it across the net. Come back near side. Nice dig on the back row. Fort Scott off the block. They'll come back near side. Cross court, and that worked out. So Fort Scott gets the point there. Looked like they maybe were going a little bit too far and too great of an angle, but off the Pittsburgh return there. It was a return error on Pittsburgh. Now Fort Scott shot just a little bit too long that time. And Pittsburgh will send Erica Maxwell back to serve. Actually, it'll be Heather Mowdy now back to serve. work it to the far sideline. Kept alive by Fort Scott. But only for a moment. Great idea there by Aiken. Got Pittsburgh scrambling a little bit on the defensive side. They'll come back. Get it over the net there and over the block as well. Pittsburgh able to keep it going. On the far side, that one hammered in there, but Pittsburgh able to keep it going. Go to Comstock. She'll find the empty part there. Fort Scott back up by 1 here in set 1. Ball comes near side. That one blocked at the net. I think if it ended up falling in for Pittsburgh as well, but I think you could have called a double or a lift, either one, on the Tigers, as that kind of bounced around the hands of the blockers a couple of times before it fell in there. And now Pittsburgh retakes the lead. It's 23-22 here late in this first set. And a miss hit there from Rayleigh Cowan, and Pittsburgh trying to close this one out. Fort Scott's going to take their second timeout now, as it'll be set point coming up for the Dragons. Fort Scott hoping a timeout will create a quick momentum change here. Set point coming up for Pittsburgh. And Erica Maxwell will serve for it. Far side to Hazelbaker. That one off the block. Pittsburgh recovers. Nice job by Fort Scott there to keep it going. Have to do it again. Aiken. Now back, I want to fall in there, so one set point saved. We'll need to do it again here. Farrington and Avery Stewart switch spots again. As Clements serving for the Lady Tigers, and that one goes off the Tiger block and out of bounds. So Pittsburgh takes the first set, 25-23, but what a hard-fought set it was by the Lady Tigers.
Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300.
Need a full mani-pedi before big weekend plans? Or maybe you want some special nail art to celebrate your favorite singer's football-playing boyfriend? Either way, Delyn Abatey is ready to help. Nails by Delyn is on all the socials, and you can call or text at 620-704-1315. Nails by Delyn at Spoiled Brat on 3rd Street in downtown Fort Scott. If you need residential, interior, or exterior painting done, or your cabinets refinished, contact the folks at Aura et Labora Painting Company, LLC. Fort Scott native Josh Regan is ready to help you with your project, so give them a call at 620-288-6617. So back in action, just about to get the second set underway here. Pittsburg with a nice run there at the end of that first set and took the victory there 25-23. So we'll see how the Lady Tigers respond here in set number 2. Trying to find the back corner, kept alive. Nice block by Comstock at the net. And Fort Scott will take the opening point of this second frame. That one just over the net. That'll work out for the Lady Tigers. Shot wide there by Avery Stewart. Pittsburg will get the serve now. Alicia Cousins back to do the honors. And Pittsburg trying to come down the line here and went a little bit too far. It's now 3-1 Fort Scott. And Kinley Clements, 5'9" sophomore for the Lady Tigers, will go back to serve. Great job by Fort Scott to keep it alive. That one hit the roof in the middle of that. They get it over to George, and she sends it home for Pittsburg. Anna George, the middle for Pittsburg, wearing number 4. Might be the best player in the SEK right now. She is exciting to watch on a volleyball court. She is not the tallest player out there, but she almost literally can jump out of the gym. It appears like she can put her eyes at the top of the net when she jumps to get to the ball, and it's pretty impressive for a high schooler. And again, we don't have heights on the Pittsburg roster, but she is definitely not the tallest girl on the floor for the Purple Dragons, but she definitely makes up for it with that leaping ability. Nice job by Fort Scott, good dig. Come back around off the block, kept alive. Go far side with it. blocked at the net, but it went right through the block and down. So Pittsburg ties up set number 2, 4-all. Scott able to get it back over the net. Scrambled just a little bit there. That right there is one of the advantages. George can jump so high that she can direct that ball down at the court instead of hitting it kind of straight and flat. That's something you don't see all throughout the SEK for sure. Imagine you don't see it very often in high school in Kansas, let alone just the SEK. That one goes back to Fort Scott. So we're tied at 5 here in set number 2. Got a whistle, and it looks like a double contact called on Pittsburg. So 6-5, Fort Scott with the lead here in this second set. And that one into the net. Tough luck serve there for Dakota Hazelbaker. Haley Gray back to serve for Pittsburg. That one off the block and in there for Fort Scott. The Lady Tigers have played very well in this match against Pittsburg. And that one hit long. That one served into the net by Fort Scott, so 8-7. Scott works it back near side. That one off the block, but out of bounds. Fort Scott back up by 2. And that one again out of bounds off of Pittsburg there. Nice recovery by Fort Scott. Pittsburg will go far side, or near side rather, and get the kill there. Looked like Maxwell going through the Fort Scott defense. Is down for Pittsburg. Nice little off-speed shot that time. Blocked by Pittsburg, but Fort Scott recovers for the moment. And it's a 3-0 run for the Dragons here as they've tied it up in set number 2. We'll go to Comstock over on the far side, and that one finds the corner. One off the net, but stays kept alive by Fort Scott. And Lady Tigers can't quite get to that one, but it's tied again here. And that one pushed a little bit too far out of bounds. Pittsburgh goes back on top 12-11 here in set number 2. And now Fort Scott takes a timeout. So set 2, it's 13-11. Pittsburgh with the lead over Fort Scott. Take a short break as Lady Tigers take a timeout.
Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com.
So quick restart after that timeout. Pittsburgh works it near side off the Tiger block. Looks like Fort Scott's getting a little bit higher on those block attempts tonight. That one, say it was blocked by Pittsburgh. Fort Scott will get the point though. Kylie Comstock goes through the Dragon block. And that one too far. It goes out of bounds.
Good job, Haley Gray.
Dug a little bit too long and too wide. So now 15-12. And that'll work for a point for the Lady Tigers. Scott couldn't quite keep that one alive. It's now 16-13. Pittsburgh on top. And serving. That one, another kill for Allie Kalishaw. Fort Scott's got some talent. And they're playing really well here tonight. A 3-set victory against Labette County earlier tonight. And that one will go off to Fort Scott blocking out of bounds. Pittsburg up now 17-14. Every match in the Tiger Dome tonight has gone 3 sets, including the JV matches. We'll see, it looks like the JV match close to going a 3rd set over there. We'll see if the Lady Tiger varsity can force a 3rd set here, but they've got a little bit of work to do now. Trailing 18-14 in set number 2 after losing the 1st set. Near side it comes. Nice job by Fort Scott to get it over the net. Set Kalishaw again, it's just fired home. And that one too long. So Fort Scott back to within 2. And Avery Stewart again serving. And that'll go as an ace. Might have been a little bit of a knuckler that time. And that one a little too wide that time from Avery Stewart. So Pittsburg will stop the Fort Scott run for the moment. Off of the return attempt. And out of bounds. Great job by the Lady Tigers. I tell you, tonight, Kendall Aiken has been very good on those little off-speed setter shots at the net. And she's been in that setter position tonight. One blocked. Fort Scott kept it going for a moment, but can't keep it and get it back over the net. So Pittsburg gets to 20 points first here in set number 2. And that one served into the net by the Lady Dragons, so we're tied at 20 now. And Pittsburgh won the first set 25-23, so if Fort Scott can come back and win this third, or second, it'll force a third. Pittsburgh rebounds and gets the point there. And it does appear the JV match over across the way is going to a third set. So all 3 JV matches have gone to 3 sets tonight. Two previous varsity matches have also gone to 3 sets. Fort Scott trying to make that the case here in this one, but they've got a little bit of work to do now as they trail 22-20. Far side it goes to Hazel Baker. That one blocked by Pittsburg, so now it's 23-20. And Fort Scott's going to take their second and final timeout here in set number 2. Don't forget, we're planning to broadcast the Tiger football game on Friday as Fort Scott heads over to Chanute. It'll be a big game in the SCK League standings on the football side of things. The Tigers and Comets on Friday evening. We'll plan to have that one for you here on Duckbait TV as well. That'll be our next broadcast. Our next volleyball broadcast will be next Tuesday from Coffeyville. We're back in action here. And that'll go in for Fort Scott. And that one pushed wide. And now Pittsburgh's going to take a timeout. They still have both of them, so they'll take the first one here. Fort Scott trailing 23-22 here in set 2. Come to Dakota, near side. Now Pittsburgh back near side. That'll go off the Tiger block. Oh my gosh. That one blocked by Pittsburgh, blocked by Fort Scott, hit by Pittsburgh, and just did find the sideline in. So now match point for the Lady Purple Dragons. Job, Fort Scott able to keep it alive for the moment. Pittsburgh works it back near side. Nice block by the Lady Tigers. Comstock gets it over the net. Now we'll come back. That one off the block again. Back over to Stewart. It's played by Pittsburgh, and it is in for Fort Scott. (24-23). Another match point for the Purple Dragons. Rayleigh Cowan serving. Nice dig by Fort Scott. It's off the roof, and Fort Scott can't recover. So tough luck there for the Lady Tigers as Pittsburgh wins this one 25-23. They win both sets 25-23 and take the match 2-0. a short break and come back and wrap things up in just a moment. This is Fort Scott Lady Tiger Volleyball on Duckbait TV.
Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700.
If you're in need of livestock risk protection, multi-peril crop insurance, or help with your pasture or private products, Caleb Simpson has you covered. Call or text Caleb with Twin Pine Solutions at 620-215-4144. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. Need a full mani-pedi before big weekend plans? Or maybe you want some special nail art to celebrate your favorite singer's football-playing boyfriend? Either way, Delina Beatty is ready to help. Nails by Delin is on all the socials, and you can call or text at 620-704-1315. Nails by Delin at Spoiled Brat on 3rd Street in downtown Fort Scott. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. So as we wrap things up here tonight, again, the Fort Scott Lady Tigers defeated Labette County in 3 sets earlier tonight, and then fall to Pittsburg in 2 sets here tonight in the second match, although it was not really, it didn't feel like a sweep necessarily. It was a pretty hard-fought match there between the 2 sets, as Pittsburg won both sets 25-23. JV match still in their 3rd set over there, as all 3 of the JV matches went 3 sets. The first 2 varsity matches also went 3 sets, and we thought we might have a 3rd set here in the last varsity match, but didn't quite work out that way for the Lady Tigers. But anyway, Fort Scott improves with the evening's results to 4-21 on the season. They'll be 1-7 in SEK League play. Their next matches will be on Saturday, as they will go down to Pittsburg to play in the Colgan tournament, and then our next broadcast will be next Tuesday. Our next volleyball broadcast will be next Tuesday in Coffeyville, as Fort Scott takes on Coffeyville and Parsons. We assume they will play the first 2 matches of that evening, but we'll check when we get there. But anyway, looking forward to that coming up on Tuesday, a week from tonight. Also, don't forget, on Friday this week, we've got football action for you. I'm planning to have football action for you from Chanute, and as the Tigers try to get back on the winning track after losing their last 2 games against Pittsburg and Labette County. So look to get back on the winning track. It'll be tough over in Chanute, but as it always is. But looking forward to that one as the Tigers take on the Blue Comet football team on Friday night. Thanks again for joining us here tonight. Fort Scott Lady Tigers win the first match against Labette County. Set scores were 25-22. They lost the second set 26-24, but then won 25-23 to take the match 2-1. And then the last one here tonight, Pittsburg wins both sets 25-23 to take the match 2-0 over the Lady Tigers. For my dad, Willie, helping me get things going here tonight. Again, thanks to him for doing that. To all the Duckbaits back home and to all of our viewers out there, thanks for watching this production of Duckbait TV. Good night, Kansas.